What's up, grease balls and greasettes? I'm here with the F250 today. I want to show you a little basic stuff that's going on with the car. So I'm going to switch the camera around, God forbid for the commentary, so here we go. Hey, so if you're just tuning in, what we're doing today is a 4x4 F250 2001, and we're doing the front U-joint. This front U-joint is bad on this particular vehicle. How do I know that? Is because I could check the play in here in the joint. Sorry for the camera angles. This joint here is bad. So as you can see it, I don't know if you can see with the light. See if I can show you some play. Alright, so there's play there. That needs to be removed. So it'll cause shimmy and shaking in your front end. You'll think you'll have bad tires or something like that. So I've sped forward a little bit here fast enough, and so I've fast forwarded a bit here. So here we are. So I have the hub apart, I have the wheel off, I have the tie rod end off, and we'll go over the other side. So first and foremost, safety. We have our jack stands underneath, jack the truck up. So as you start out, you'll see you'll see the tire here, such as so forth. So you have a tire on, blah blah blah. Now he's moving forward. So this is what it would look like without normal day, everyday usage. So I fast forward a little bit to bring you guys up to speed. So remove the caliper. There's the caliper. Sorry, that's the brake rotor. Remove the caliper and the caliper assembly and tucked it up underneath on the spring here. You need to do that so you can remove the rotor here. The rotor assembly sits here. I always put the nuts back on in case when you're starting to take this apart, you drop it off here and you damage a stud. Now you're causing more issues. Alright, so your basic four-wheel drive on an F250 has a locking hub assembly. So your locking hub assembly is here. On this case, it has an aftermarket hub assembly, and it takes these bolts or these screws, and they all sit in these holes. Once you remove that, or once you remove the outer cap, you remove a snap ring. This snap ring here sits inside of here. It's guided. Simple screwdriver moves this around and gets it out. So then once you get that all apart, you have four bolts here in the back of the actual physical knuckle. I'm not sure you can see them because it's really tight in there. So it's a simple 21mm, removes them four nuts, and will allow you to remove the outer wheel bearing and wheel hub assembly. After you remove your four-wheel drive section, you have to remove a snap ring inside here. You have to remove a snap ring inside here. I'm not sure you can see it very well. My flashlight has appeared to die, so bear with me. Here, you little cocksucker. Alright, so there's a snap ring inside there that you have to remove. Once you remove that, your hub assembly will come apart relatively easy. Of course, you'll need a little hopes and dreams, and you bang on them, just like your hopes and dreams. Snap ring pliers. So I'm going to try to attempt to remove this while on camera. And if you got your kids and your wife in the room, maybe you should leave at this time because there may be some swearing. So it did move. Just slipped off this piece of shit. Fucking cock. And there we are. So snap rings off. I like to keep everything just as pretty as I can in the dirt and mud. It helps it when you go back together. So there, you're ready to remove. So by taking your BFH, you're going to pound on the spindle assembly here to separate it. So as you can see, it's starting to come apart. You can see the gap here. I don't have that dust shield for whatever reason. You know, we are in Michigan here, for those that are in the southern states. It rotted itself away. I did have to remove the outer tie rod to access the back nuts on the back of this. There's the nuts. There's two more They're went to Narnia at this point. I have to look for them. Oh, I set them up here. There they are. So that's pretty much it. And once you do that, let me see if I can pound this off while I'm on here. Let me beat the fucking dog shit out of it. So, and you have some assemblies in here. You must put these back in the way they came in. There are thrust washers and a thrust washer on the angle for when you're in a rotation in your four-wheel drive. So when you're turning, you need that thrust washer in there to prevent end play. So she's coming loose. Bear with me here. I hope it's not too loud and nasty on the phone. So. And don't be afraid. You got to beat it like it owes your rent money. You know, try to hit it from the bottom. Alright. Or if it's a stepchild, this, you know what I'm talking about. So just keep continuing to hitting, and it's coming out for reasonably decent. I'm impressed. And what happens here is it will build rust up on the end here, and will create the issue of drag. So hi everybody who's joining here. What we're doing today is we're working on my 2001 f250 four-wheel drive. I'm replacing this U-joint back here. It's bad. These U-joints will cause vibration, like you have a wheel out of balance. It will cause that. Even though the four-wheel drive is not engaged, you're still causing that problem. It'll also cause the steering wheel to vibrate like this when braking under hard pressure on the four-wheel drive section of this truck for whatever reason. I know it doesn't sound like you have a warped rotor or something like that, but trust me, I've seen it 2 or 3 times differently. All right, so my hub's about to come off after beating it. You do have to remove the ABS wiring, which is attached to here. This clip on your brake line, it goes down here, and then the clip for the actual sensor itself is in behind the inner fender well. So once you have it assembled here, there is your outer edge thrust washer. That's there for hub axle thrust. So sometimes you get lucky, you can just pull this and it will come out. There's a trick to doing this. I need to get a large pry bar, and I'm not sure I can do this on camera. Let me grab my pry bar here. No, that's not the large one. This should do it right here. This is a semi-large pry bar. So all you basically do is find you a good point in between the axle and the U-joint, and you just continue to pry. And as you can see, it's slightly moving. You just got to rotate and find you the good angle of how you need it done, how to get it out of there. So you can actually rotate the shaft by grabbing the front of it, of course, and prying, turning it where you need it so you can pry. I don't know if you can see that, but you see the axles in between here and there, and you just kind of give it some help. It will come out of there. They just stuck, but you can see it coming and moving, right? So eventually she will come out of there. You just have to, here she comes, there it is. So that's all it's to it. All I did was pry in between here and this axle tube, and now she's free. And I mean free. There she is. So like that, simple as easy. It came right apart. And again, I'll lay this down. I'll show you what I was talking about. So this U-joint it's getting pretty bad. I noticed some vibration. I did have tires put on this truck, and they checked my front end. They said, hey, you got a U-joint bad. I wanted over $350, $125 just to pull the hub off, another $150 just to do the U-joint, and I'll have maybe a couple hours in time and $25 in a U-joint to do this. You can do it with basic hand tools. It's really simple and easy, and like I said, it's just time on your day to do it. Now going back together, it's just the same way as you showed me, except for I don't use the pry bar. All I do is fish the axle into the tube. I make sure everything is clean. My mating surfaces go back together clean using a little brake clean and some shop rags. And other than that, it's easy peasy. I may show you the actual demonstration of taking the U-joint apart, but at this time, I am going to shut it down. Thanks for watching. I hope to see you guys again. Leave comments, like this video if it's helpful, and we'll go from there. Now, if you're going to do U-joints, real quick, your U-joints are in between. So your U-joints, I'm sorry, not your U-joints, but your ball joints are here. You'd remove this castle nut, you'd remove this lower castle nut, and that's it. All right, well, take care, guys. I'll talk to you soon.